The 49ers beat the Arizona Cardinals 17-16 on an Eddie Pinheiro last second field goal, which is exactly why you pick a guy like him up. Jake Moody was let go, as you know, 2 games ago. Eddie Pinheiro missed the first PAT and has been perfect since then. In fact, he made a 51-yarder earlier in the game and made the game-winning field goal as time expired. But it wasn't a pretty game. In fact, just before that, the 49ers offensive line, which was terrible the entire game, gave up a safety in the end zone, mainly because Dominic Puni got absolutely destroyed by Calais Campbell. Now, Dominic Puni, who had a great rookie season, has really had a sophomore slump. He hasn't put on any extra weight, and he is honestly getting dominated by much bigger defensive linemen. So something needs to happen there. He either needs to get stronger, needs to work on footwork, get back to the fundamentals. But the 49ers offensive line really showed their weaknesses today. Unable to protect the quarterback, kept on or couldn't run the ball whatsoever. And so the 49ers still managed to be 3-0 at the end of the game. Now, Nick Bosa went down with a knee injury. We don't know how bad that is. Is that an ACL? Is that an MCL? Is he going to need to go on IR and miss the next 4 weeks? All we know is that without Nick Bosa, this is a completely different defense. Now, Robert Saleh helped hide some of those inefficiencies by scheming things up, but the reality is they're lucky that they have Bryce Huff. Mykel Williams went down, but he came back to the game and was able to produce. And so they need Nick Bosa, and they need him bad. D. Winters played great. He gave up a touchdown toward the end, but D. Winters was flying around again. Now, what we know about the 49ers is mobile quarterbacks are still an issue. Kyler Murray was still able to scramble around, but they still pulled out the win at the end. And one other player we want to highlight is Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall is becoming a true number one right in front of our eyes. With Brandon Ayuk out, Juwan Jennings out, Ricky Pearsall eclipsed 100 yards again and is doing everything he needs to do to get the 49ers in position to keep winning. Now, when reinforcements come, talk about George Kittle, talk about Juwan Jennings, talk about Brandon Ayuk, this team is going to be a force to be reckoned with. So getting Pearsall those number one targets is absolutely huge. And Christian McCaffrey, what a way to show out when you are needed the most at the end of the fourth quarter. Christian McCaffrey taking that screen dump off for 20 yards to put Eddie Pinheiro in a perfect position to win the game. Christian McCaffrey, again, over 100 yards with all-purpose yards, was stopped a lot in the run game, mainly because the 49ers offensive line is absolutely terrible. But in the receiving game, Christian McCaffrey was the difference maker in addition to Ricky Pearsall. So the 49ers 3-0. Hopefully they get some decent news on Nick Bosa, and he isn't out for a while, but they came out and won a game that they're supposed to win, a tight game, a game they would have lost last year, but they won this year. They are 3-0 onto the Jaguars.